like to go ahead and welcome Jonathan Snow. If you would, please give him a round of applause as he makes his way up. He's got a tough task running against Gus Bilirakis. So how can we help you?
Thank you. As you said, my name is Jonathan Michael Snow, and I am running for Congress for Florida's new 12th Congressional District against the incumbent Republican Gus Bilirakis. Now, a lot of people tend to be confused as to which Bilirakis I'm running against, which is understandable because there's been a Bilirakis in Congress for 3 decades. I think it's time for a change. My motto has always been, let's fix America now. And I believe that the people actually can do this, because when the people unite together, nothing is impossible. Now, I found out today, I thought I was the youngest congressional candidate. I found out today I am the second youngest congressional candidate. There's a gentleman running in California who's 8 days younger than me. So close there. But I can say I am the youngest Democrat running for Congress. My website is snowforcongress.com. We have bumper stickers and yard signs and all kinds of stuff that we'd love for you guys to get involved however you can. The main thing that you can do to help me, and everyone's going to say this, obviously if you can write a check, that goes a long way. But the second best thing that you can do for me is make phone calls. I don't have the type of money to blanket the airways with TV ads and cover up every single square inch of US 19 with yard signs. And I wouldn't do that even if I could. One, I think that's dangerous. And it gets very annoying seeing all those ads. What I need is people making phone calls. The second most effective thing you can do is calling voters. The first most effective thing you can do is knocking on doors. This is not coming from me, this is coming from the professionals who spent millions of dollars analyzing and talking to undecided voters, and then they talked to those same voters right after the election. They said, what made you vote the way you did? And they said it was talking to a real person. Not the ads, not the yard signs, but talking to ordinary people, saying, you know what, I'm supporting this candidate because that person is. Because I agree with them on these issues. So why am I running? Well, we have a lot of problems right now we face. You know, unemployment's out of control. I mean, in fact, 1 in 4 Americans right now is either unemployed or underemployed. 2 in 5 Americans can't afford to go to a doctor when they're sick, let alone take a prescribed medication. And 1 in 7 Americans can't afford to feed themselves without government assistance. And at the same time, the wages for average Americans have actually gone down, while our productivity has increased, with only the wealthiest Americans seeing any of the benefit. So it's issues like this that have motivated me to stand up and run for Congress. Because I believe that the people united can never be defeated. I believe that we can unite behind common sense solutions, like raising the minimum wage. Is there anyone in this room who's in favor of raising the minimum wage? All right, see? This is common sense stuff that we can actually do and unite behind. Infrastructure. We need to do this. We have not been doing this for the past 40, 50, 60 years in some case. You know, every single day in the United States, over 70 water pipes burst, leaving thousands of Americans without water. And it's not because there was a horrible accident, it's because they're old water pipes. How many times have you gone without power for a little bit in the past year? I know I've gone a few times, and it wasn't because of some horrible hurricane came through. We're talking about seasonal weather. So infrastructure is one of the main issues that I talk about, because I think it's something that we can all unite behind. The only people who are against infrastructure right now are the Republicans in Congress. Well, exactly. They're against everything up there. Unless it was introduced by, you know, one of their brothers up there, and then it's the greatest idea that they've ever heard. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know there's a lot of other people that want to talk, and I'm sure you don't want to hear me ranting all the time. I know I can't live in my own head for that long. But I will say, every single one of you can make a difference. And if you're thinking, well, I'm just one person. Jonathan, your district has 400,000 voters. What can I as one person do? You can do a lot. Because let me tell you what, majority of people are going to vote party line. I'll say it. The majority of people are going to vote party line. The only thing that I want you to do is make sure that other Democrats get out there and vote. We cannot have what happened in 2010 happen again. I'll admit it. I went and voted in 2010. I donated a little bit. But I did not work as hard as I did in 2010 as I did in 2008. In 2008, I was making those phone calls. I was knocking on doors, talking to people I didn't even know, and said, all right, we're going to go out there. And like many Democrats, In 2010, I said, well, we got the president, we've got the Senate, we've got the House. I'll go and vote, leave it up to them. But we saw what happens. We get Governor Lex Luthor up there coming after your right to vote. We've got extreme radicalism to the point, I never thought that House Republicans would vote to end Medicare. Never in my wildest dreams. And what do? They didn't vote to end Medicare once. They didn't vote to end Medicare twice. They voted to end Medicare 3 times. They kind of got a little bit of, if you remember that movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray, they've got a Republican Groundhog's Day going on up there right now. They go in there, they vote to repeal health care. They've done that over 34 times already. Then they vote to restrict a woman's right to choose what she wants to do with her own body. Then they vote to pollute the environment. And then they take a week vacation and come back and do it all over again. And they say, well, it's the president's job to be creating jobs. No, Congress creates jobs. Congress creates and passes laws. And I need you to help send me to Congress. So if you want to make phone calls, contact me. If you want a bumper sticker, we've got free bumper stickers, got some yard signs. Anything that you do makes a big difference. Because like I said, the only thing we really need to do is make sure we get our Democrats out there to vote. We don't have to worry about flipping the Republicans. They're doing that themselves. I've been talking to Republicans and they said, you know what? I voted Republican my entire life. But that Romney, I don't like him, I don't trust him, and I know he has no clue what life is like for us. And it's true. Romney is going to turn off the Republicans that we can actually swing ourselves. We don't have to worry about going and fighting those Republicans. Scott's got a Republican he's running against right there that's turning off his own base. The Republicans are going to turn off their own people for us, so the only thing we have to do is make sure we get our own people out there and vote. With that, I'll say, united, we cannot be defeated. Democrats, we must stand together. Thank you.